Danganronpa. Hey everybody, welcome back to Visual Novel Book Club. I'm your pal slowbeef. With me, of course, my good friend Jim.
Hey everybody.
Devious Vacuum.
Rise and shine, sign.
Turbo C.
Howdy.
Pulahoko.
Good evening.
Oren Ronen.
Hey, you made it to the game.
Yay. We did it. It was okay.
Yeah.
The end.
Wasn't that great?
We got you.
April Fools. Yeah. We made it through. All right.
We actually just read a walkthrough and just completely faked this entire podcast.
Yeah, we got you.
It's a lie.
We didn't even play it.
Danganronpa V3. So we've all finished it. We've got some closure on the final chapter. I think probably at this point all taken at least a cursory look at the post game content. So let's talk about it.
Yeah, so let's do a very quick thumbs up, thumbs down, or middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
I was very much thumbs up this entire thing. I thought it was a fantastic Danganronpa game.
Yeah. Maybe not the whole time, but the thumbs up all in all. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. I don't think there were any cases that I didn't like.
I mean, I could complain. Case 2, I felt like most of the mystery was just around how to transport the body, which is fine, but whatever, you know? And, I don't know, case 3 was just kind of Kiyo, so, there's that part of it. That having been said, yeah, no, I was mostly very happy with it, When
I started this game, so I had not played either of the other two games, and my opinion of Danganronpa was, I could see why this is appealing, but it seems not quite my style, because it's about a bunch of kids murdering each other.
Mm-hmm.
And going through the game, I got it more, and it was really a roller coaster. I feel like I've landed in the exact same place because of how the game handles its ending, which is the whole idea that that had made me not sure if I wanted to play it in the beginning, which was reinforcing that idea of these are real emotions and real tragedies that can affect people emotionally, even though it's fiction. But because the game basically repeated my feelings about it back to me, I really loved it. I really liked that. That's what it did. So I'm right back where I started, but in a really positive way.
It's good when fiction doesn't challenge you at all.
It's good when fiction just agrees with you.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to do that at all, and it was just nah, you've got a point, D-Vac. This is actually kind of fucked up.
This is Danganronpa V3 speaking directly to you, D-Vac. Yes, you were right about everything.
I love it when video games tell me I was right.
We're sorry to have wasted your time.
It's just when you look at it as just the beginning and the end points, it feels like I didn't really change that much. But in the middle point, I was all over the place. There were high points and there were low points. There were points where it was really frustrating. There were points where the writing could have been better. We always, Korekio could have been handled better. A lot of things could have been handled better. But a lot of stuff was really funny. And some of the mysteries were better than others. I mean, it's chapter 5, fantastic. It's all. I mean, it's so long. It makes sense that it's the whole ride is a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah, it's a decent sized game. I imagine if we were kind of rushing through it, if you're rushing through it, maybe 3 or 4 days to beat it, I'd say.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because even if you know what to do, the trials take a bit,
Yeah.
The trials do, yeah. But it's just a game like this. I feel like it's really suited to this kind of environment where you read a bit and you can take it in, you can mull it over, you can digest it, and then just kind of think about it. I just think a game like this, it really kind of enhances it.
Especially with mysteries involved, I think it was really nice to be able to stop on purpose and think about it.
Yeah, half the fun is just guessing and formulating and how half of our stuff was wrong. I forget what some of the stuff I came up with was, but I knew that there was some kind of brainwashing thing going on. I didn't really think maybe they were clones, or it was a computer program, or everybody was just a robot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to apologize to all the fans that heard me say, oh, because they're broadcasting this show, like, back in, like, Chapter 3 or whatever, and are like, D-Vac, you already played this game. I didn't. I was just saying stuff.
So wait, Oren, you edited everything. And did anything stand out in terms of, like, who guessed what or anything like that?
I remember, like, the first episode like, before we even did the prequel, you were like, I had a goofy smile while I was listening to you guys, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well, because of Kaede's trial, right? Because we were like, this couldn't possibly work.
Yeah, well, that's been a constant throughout the series, but you said lots of things throughout this series that turned out to be true, but I don't think, it was pretty guessable that this is being shown to someone, but I don't think any one of you actually got the way it's being shown to the world. I mean, that's the big surprise and the big twist here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The entire meta thing about the first games being games.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone can guess this ahead of time.
No, that's really out there.
And that's the point.
And it was cool. It's nice not being able to guess it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's been about a year since I've played this game the first time. And I think it's my favorite in the series. And I have a soft spot for the first game, obviously, because I spent a lot of time with the first game. But this one has the best mysteries in the series, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the mystery part of the first two games is okay, but it's not... The mysteries aren't the best. And this one is pretty solid, all the way through, I think. And I really love the ending. I like most of the characters. I really think this is pretty much the best Danganronpa has ever been.
Who are your favorite Danganronpa V3 characters and least favorite characters, Oren?
I really like Maki. But I always loved Danganronpa's lead female characters. So that's been constant.
But you're disappointed with Kaede, the whole Kaede thing, right?
Yeah.
She was shaping up pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a better game if it was reverse, if the male character died in the first chapter and you played as the female character in the rest. I think that would have been a better take on it.
Yeah. Well, especially, too, because, like, Shuichi's the detective, so it's almost like good misdirection, too, because you feel like, oh, well, of course, now the player character is going to be the ultimate detective, but nah, just kidding, you're a pianist, you're one of the, you know what I mean, like the sort of flavor, like, color characters on the side, you know what I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my I've said that like 3 different ways this whole podcast season, but still.
Still true.
Yeah, I think it would have been neat to just have somebody that doesn't have quite such a useful power. I mean, Shuichi is like the detective, but he's like a weak detective, so it's kind of like he doesn't have that power, but he still kind of does.
Yeah, he kind of has to develop it too.
But then we just got frustrated with him.
Yeah, and it's weird too looking back over the entire notes and seeing how weak he is in the beginning. Like when they come out of the lockers and he's convinced like Kaede is one of the people who kidnapped him, and it's just like, oh, you know, like he's like scared as soon as he pops out, and she's like, calm the hell down. Like I forgot that whole first scene where like she's seizing the power, and you're like, oh yeah, wait, she's the one kind of in control here, and Shuichi doesn't know what the hell's going on. But the good thing is he's got an arc for that reason, you know, like so he starts off as like you know, obviously he isn't the ultimate detective, we learn, but he develops these powers. He develops his confidence in his abilities and his confidence in like commitment to the truth and all this stuff, and that is like an overarching story through this that I think, you know, that works. They would have to they would have to find a different way if they were going to make Kaede the main character, just to give some kind of like momentum through the story.
He's definitely, I think, he's definitely the protagonist with the most complete arc in the series, I think. The first game, Naegi in the first game really didn't have an arc at all. He was just there. And the second game kind of had an arc, but it's weaker than this one. This is the best they did.
Yeah. Nagi is a very good fish out of water kind of character because of that like good luck thing, and that's sort of his like thing is just like everybody else are these like kind of freakish like, you know, ultimate whoever things, and he's just like a guy, like he's like your average kind of person, you know, and he like fits in that well, and he's like a good standing character. And Shuichi's weird because he's kind of like that too in a way, even though he's supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like he has that arc, but it's a little odd. I don't know. I think though for me too, like I feel like Kaede had a good thing going in terms of arcs because yeah, she starts out with this sort of like take charge leadership thing. She's like kind of good glue, but it all falls apart after Death Road to Despair. And even like Kokichi's kind of like being a jerk, you know what I mean? Like it's all like she kind of has to like, she's like losing confidence in herself and all that. It like sets it up. So I feel like, you know, yeah, we could have done something there, but you know, it is what it is. I guess I did like her, and I guess it's an odd thing to say about, but because I think Kaido and Kokichi were still my favorite characters, which is not any sort of hot take or anything, but yeah, so I like them. Ryoma was great.
Yeah, I wish we had gotten to spend more time with him.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Kurumi was just kind of there, like you know, it's funny because like I don't know, I guess I expected something more out of her with like the way the group was treating her and everything. So I don't know. I'm trying to go through all the characters in my head, but if anybody else has any.
Yeah, should we talk about all the characters instead of like going chapter by chapter? We could go character by character.
we could do that. Yeah, to start off with. Yeah.
So I didn't like Kokichi as much as many people did, and apologies to the Kokichi fan club here.
Kokichi seems to be like a really polarizing character because I like read some of the comments back in the videos.
I wonder why.
Well, no, like there were some people that were saying like, you know, Kokichi ruined this game for me. I hate Kokichi, and it's like, well, I mean,
what?
Well, we get a lot of that in the comments if you've seen any of them. People really don't like.
Oh, don't read that.
But I mean, not like people who are being assholes about it. People who are like legitimately like, hey, I really like this game, but I didn't like Kokichi.
That like they legitimately hated Kokichi.
Yeah.
I mean, to be totally fair, like you can, yeah. I think if you're into Danganronpa to begin with, and you have a character who's like not taking a murder game seriously, you know, it's like it's a little disconcerting in a way of like maybe unrealistic even, you know. It's like kind of like if you're looking for that sort of like battle royale part of it, or maybe not battle royale, but like that's like been my favorite part of the previous game. So that like early on, like to have a character who's kind of like, fuck it, let's all kill each other. It's like, yeah, come on, who's even like among this cast who's gonna act like that? But I don't know, he was such a cool wild card and all that fun stuff.
His manipulation was fun. I think I could understand when people are like, dude, he's a straight up red herring, and he's telegraphed as one from the very beginning. And if that's how you felt about it, and like that was never disproven wrong, then I can understand having a bad feeling about it. If you didn't think that was going on, and if you kind of just were like open to whatever could happen, like maybe this ends up being the mastermind, your experience is going to vary.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I found it fascinating, the idea of his strategy, which is pretending to be the mastermind. And I feel like at the end, once you learn all the stuff about him, it would be interesting, I think, to go back and replay some of those scenes, and I think it would be more obvious when he was lying and when he wasn't. And I think that it's just a fascinating thing. It's an interesting character, and it goes along with but he's definitely like a villain. If you're going to split this game into heroes and villains, he's not a hero. But that whole idea of falling into despair. It's definitely like, you know, seems like a character who very quickly fell into despair, like him, and then like the things he says about Mew not helping everyone with her inventions because she didn't trust everybody, and like bringing up that question of trust, and I think that's a lot of that is sort of embodied with Kokichi, right? Who's just a bunch of lies, and he's like. There's like a theme in this game of like the lie bullets, and the lying is sometimes okay. And I guess he's just sort of like the physical embodiment of that whole theme.
Yeah.
Like this game kind of brings up a really interesting theme between like truth and lies, and like obviously in most situations, yeah, truth is better than a lie, but in some situations like the truth, where, in this game, the truth is that everything was a lie. And that's the truth, but that truth is terrible. So the lie is better than the truth in this case.
And eventually, I mean, the point of the game is that fiction is a lie, basically, but it's lies that can change reality.
Yeah, like it's a lie that you can enjoy. You read a piece of fiction, you've got somebody lying to you in a book, but you still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right, and it can change you for the better. It can become like a truth in its own way,
I was going to say, just because you can define something as fake doesn't mean it doesn't have a real impact on people and their relationships and the way they feel about the world.
And getting back to the other theme there of, like, not wanting to play the game by its own rules, every time that happened in this game, I was happy. Like, maybe that's because I didn't have any expectations going in of what was supposed to happen, but every time they were, like, aware enough to be like, we have to disrupt this game and stop it from happening, which was, like, right from the beginning, because even Kaede talks about it. I was like, yes, like, don't just play the game. Like, that was good. I liked that. Every character that tried to see things on a larger level than playing the game.
Actually, now that you mention it, there were only maybe 1 or 2 characters that actually played the game. Kurumi was like one character that played the game because she did want to get out, but then didn't just about everybody else kill somebody to either stop the game or disrupt the game or something else like that?
Yeah, Kurumi is pretty much the only one that actually, like, the motive actually mattered to them.
But wait a second. As we learn at the end, isn't Kurumi then the worst character? Because the only thing she did was act on what she thought she was, where she wasn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't really the president.
Like, she's just, like, she's literally just a nothing person who just, thought was brainwashed into thinking she was one thing, acted on that brainwashing, and there's no actual, like, involvement. She just was, she got convinced by whatever memories they implanted with her, and she tried to she killed someone and then disappeared, and that's just it.
But, well, yeah, I mean, to be fair to her, though, like, what else is she gonna do? Like, there's no reason to disbelieve the lies that they were. Oh
yeah, but I think more people have, like, more of an impact on what's going on in the whole, like, think of this as one giant story. Like, everyone else has something that kind of matters in the larger context, except maybe, now, let me take that back a little bit. Tenko's not really good either. But, like, those are probably the 2 worst because they're, like, it's just because they've been manipulated into sort of acting in a certain way that I think really has more, than Tenko's at least a victim because of she's just acting in a certain way. Kurumi is actually, a blackened murderer because she's just been implanted with these memories and is just sort of like a tool of Monokuma.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Those are weaker characters in my book.
And even Tenko's arc, like, has an impact because it has an impact on Himiko, who, for some reason, receives the blessing of getting to survive to the end.
Oh yeah, she's not.
I brought this up, I think, while we were chatting last time, because I was like, did the most boring people survive to the end on purpose? And then Oren was like, that's like a theme. That's like other people said that about the other games as well.
It's like the Survivor thing. It's like that's how reality shows work a lot of times when people are scheming against each other. It's just the boring ones who get by.
But then it also makes sense, right? Because they win in the end, or they, like, stop the game by doing nothing, right? And so it's like, Himiko's good at this because she hasn't done anything this whole time.
I'm great at doing nothing.
Yeah, I liked Himiko better than I thought I would, except when she talked about wetting herself, which was way too frequently for my taste. But, who I think Tenko, I didn't like her, but she started to, like, not win me over, but started to make me hate her less as it went on.
Yeah, the whole problem with Tenko is that she is just this really one-note character with, like, the whole man-hating thing. And then, additionally, she's got, like, this crush aspect that is completely not reciprocated at all.
Yeah, and it's not developed at all, like, yeah.
So, the fact that they just keep going they just keep going after that. It's just really, really obnoxious.
Yeah, how much she pushes on Himiko's boundaries is uncomfortable.
And it's like there's no that's not a story that's ever developed. Like there's never like, oh, this is why she's obsessed with Himiko. This is it. This is the only aspect to her character that we know, and it's kind of weird.
And, like, as far as one-note character, it's not even like she hates men, really. She just says the words degenerate males. That's kind of it. It's like, it never really goes anywhere. It's like, it's like one note, and it's a really short note. Because they've had, like, you could say, like, Angie's a one-note character because of Atua, but, like, stuff kind of happens with her, you know, and, like...
At least she tries to start a cult, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, she affects other characters. Tenko's just kind of like, yeah, you know, I got some funny art. And it's like, yeah, you do. I'll give you that, Tenko.
Look at this face I can make.
Yeah.
Did any of you read Tenko's free time events? I think you'd hate her even more if you did.
Oh no.
Oh God! Thank God we didn't.
Yeah, I feel like Tenko's the last thing she says to Himiko when she's just like talks to Himiko about the importance of expressing emotion was good. And a lot of the other stuff just felt like a joke.
Yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've seen that, but the reason she hates men is that basically her master told her to hate men.
Oh.
And a master is a man.
Her Akido master.
He just didn't want to hang out with anyone else.
What a teen opinion.
What a twist.
But that's stupid. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, this is a game with the monocubs in it, so, you know. Something that exists just to be stupid and annoying, you know.
I gotta say that the monocubs make more sense. The monocubs make more sense now because now that we know that Danganronpa is in its 53rd season, it's like they came on a bus and it's like, oh, it's little Monokuma cousins and one's really wacky and one's a nerd.
Oh my God, they're Scrappy-Doo.
Yeah, they are Scrappy-Doo, aren't they?
Yep, they are Scrappy-Doo. Yep.
Let's talk about more characters that we really liked. Like Gonta. We love Gonta.
Yes, like Gonta.
Yeah, Gonta is great.
Yeah. Gonta's great.
He had an interesting growth arc. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
He's a good boy. He's too good for this game. Too pure. So he was gonna have to die eventually.
I feel like they got rid of him in probably one of the best ways that they could have. Because, again, he was just so dumb. And I was expecting him to get killed by somebody who would easily trick him. Like, he would jump into a hole because somebody asked him to.
Is that not kind of what happened, though? I mean, I guess we'll never really know. Do you guys think that Kokichi was completely using Gonta? Do you think that they were completely friends? Like, what do you think their real, like, relationship was?
I mean, it's sort of the beauty of Kokichi is we'll never truly know. My opinion was that he was very much manipulating Gonta to get to his sort of end state of no one has to kill each other anymore. And I'm sure he very much regrets that, but sees it as sort of like a means to an end.
I don't know. I feel like Kokichi doesn't really care about anybody except maybe Shuichi because he's got that big conspiracy theory board where I imagine it's like everyone else has like big red marker, you know, pawn, you know, stupid, useless, and then Shuichi's just like a little yellow question mark.
It says trustworthy next to his name? Question mark.
But yeah, I don't think he feels anything for anybody else.
I feel like Kokichi, like, obviously identifies Gonta very early on as somebody who can't lie and is very gullible.
Or is really good at lying.
Or is really good at, or is like really, really good. And I feel like that's probably why he was drawn to Gonta and like wanted to spend time with him because he wanted to figure out which one of those it was.
Oh yeah, I could imagine him coming up and he's like, okay, this is an act. Like, drop it. What's your deal, really?
And it gets back to that question of, like, who can you trust? Because I think that was, I mean, cause the fact that Kokichi had that board is that he ultimately couldn't trust anybody. But maybe he wanted to. And maybe it was like, we'll go with Gonta, you know, I don't know. Protect Gonta, everyone.
You know what I like to believe about Kokichi, too? I like to think that he is the one character of all of them that wasn't, like, implanted with a new memory. That he was just, like, once he, like, auditioned, they're like, oh, we're keeping him as is.
Like, he was just this complete little bastard. It's like, okay, we'll tweak him a little bit, but for the most part, you're just going in straight as is. Good job.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, one of the producers, like, we'll tweak him a little bit, and one other one's like, no, what? Are you kidding? No way, man. That's just how it is. So
we got a star here. We're not going to mess this up. You let him go out there and be the wild card.
Serious. I liked, speaking of, unless you want to talk more about, Gunta.
No, I think we covered him, yeah.
I like Rentaro better than I thought I would. I don't know why. He's barely in it. He's just fun. I don't know.
What, do you just like that he seems really laid back or something?
I wonder what his game was like.
I like that, like, he's just kind of gonna be the first victim, that's it. And then you get that tape later, and you're kind of like, what the hell's Rantaro's deal here? And he just has this, like, kind of neat mystery around him. Maybe I like the story around him, really, more than him, but... Yeah.
Maybe we should talk to him in the post-game stuff and learn more about him. Yeah. See what kind of character he really was.
Oh, you know what? I bet you that next Danganronpa, it's prequel time with Rantaro.
It does make me curious about it. Like, what was he capable of?
Danganronpa V2.
He might, it might have been just like, I guess, because how did it go again? Like, they would let them leave, but like two of them somebody had to come back, or is that it?
Whoever sacrificed themselves was punished by having to participate in the next game.
Yeah, if it came to this weird, like, vote for hope or despair that, all the Danganronpas have gone to, the people that sacrifice themselves have to go to the next one.
Yeah, if we break it down, Tsumugi says that she's hosted 53 Danganronpas, which, for a lady that's at least in her mid-60s, she looks pretty good.
Well, she is the ultimate cosplayer.
Yeah, but if that's the case, and hope always wins, then she always comes back, and either one or two people always go for the next one.
But wait, we don't know it's yearly. This could be like, they could do 10 seasons a year. This is multiple days that it takes.
But, all right, so wait, that's a good kind of transition to Tsumugi, who's, like, she's a pretty disappointing character and villain, I guess. I don't know. She's just, like, there.
I mean, alone, I think she is very boring, and I think that's intentional. All of us were just like, she's boring up until the very end.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of her is when she takes on every single other character from Danganronpa 1 and 2.
Sure.
I like her in so much as that she's like the ultimate Danganronpa fan. I like to think that she was like the nexus of this entire thing, where she played the first two Danganronpa games and then like followed all the animes and spin-offs and card games and all this other stuff, and then just became, I'm gonna turn the world into Danganronpa. I'm gonna make Danganronpa for real.
She really hated the paywall.
Oh my god. It's Tsumugi as a representation of, like, a bad Danganronpa fan or a really good Danganronpa fan. I don't know.
Or, I don't know, like at least a really dedicated one.
It was interesting. But her whole place in the story, right, was to downplay herself the entire game so that she would survive.
Yeah, so it got near the end, and we were pretty much all saying, Tsumugi hasn't done anything. Like, it would have been okay if she was playing, yeah, but to have her do something. Like, the only thing that she really did was we investigated her lab and she made us that drink, and she hadn't done anything up to that point, and I'm thinking, oh shit, is there poison in the drink? Is this like a magic hallucination cocktail? And it's nothing. It's just a drink.
Yeah, I mean, that again, I feel like that's her entire point. I mean, even from the beginning, like, the first action that we ever really have with her is with Kaede, and we're like, hey, can we just make sure that you can't, cheat? And she's like, no, I can't. Here you go. Here's why. And boy, that's sort of it until her lab unlocks.
Oh, you know what's interesting? In the beginning chapter, Tsumugi does kind of signal that she kind of has a crush on Kaede, right? Like when we first meet her, like and stuff, she has those kind of lines, and then she had to murder Kaede, or like murder Rantaro so that Kaede would get killed. Like, I don't know, I'm mad about that now.
She's just like, oh, shame, you would have been such a good, like, next season participant or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. She had to cause the death of the one other participant that she kind of liked.
I'd like to imagine the panic that she went through. Because obviously she's got the little tiny cameras everywhere. She can see everything. And she's probably watching Kaede the whole time. It's like, yes, okay, yes, good. She's going to take the shot put ball. Okay, she's going up to the room there, dropping it in. Okay, good. It's going down. Shit! It missed! God damn it!
I knew this plan wasn't going to work.
I have a different take, which was, oh my god, are you kidding with the shot put? This is never gonna work. I'm gonna have to get a shot put in the next room, work on timers, so, like, cause this'll never work, and I'm gonna run out of time. Like, I fucking knew it. Alright, I have to go.
Yeah, she's just like, this fuckwit stuck a bunch of books.
No, she's watching the TV with Monokuma. It's like, hey, Monokuma, get over here. Look at this. Like, you're not going to believe this.
Yeah, Monica was just, like, reading out, like, the real-time fan polls of people getting annoyed that nobody's killing each other.
So did anybody spend all the free time with Tsumugi?
I spent some.
I tried.
I spent the entire time with her, actually.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if we discussed it. Well, obviously we didn't because she didn't die at that point.
I mentioned it shortly though, that she really liked to see Shuichi cosplaying.
Yeah, and she also talks about because she does like the normal stuff, like the sort of her setting up things about the whole doesn't approve of cosplayers use it as a stepping stone for fame and to become celebrities and all this kind of stuff, which is just a fucking bold-faced lie.
It was kind of like a very real world. Yeah, it was like a real world, like, analog. It was a strange, like, bit of thing to have in the game.
Well, hang on, Jim. How is that bullshit, though?
Well, because doesn't she end up cosplaying a celebrity?
No, I think she's cosplaying because she wants to be in the Danganronpa world. Like, at the end, where Danganronpa's over, she's just like, well, I'm gonna die, but that's okay. I don't want to live outside of Danganronpa anyway. I don't want to live in the real world.
No, I get that part, but also, like, she talks a lot about the people cosplayers who use it, like, who want to be famous, and, like, isn't Danganronpa the most famous thing in the world? Like, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to be that super famous person in this super famous TV show or whatever it is now.
No, I don't think that's it. I think she's criticizing cosplayers who don't care about the things they cosplay, about the characters they cosplay, and who are just doing it to become famous. And she clearly cares about Danganronpa.
Like, you haven't even played the game.
No, yeah, I can see that.
Oh, you like Danganronpa? Name 5 other titles.
That is Tsumugi.
And she's like obsessed with the tropes of Danganronpa, which I think the game is criticizing. So she really wants Junko Enoshima to be the villain, and she uses all kinds of things that have been in previous games, like her secret passages in the bathroom, which is a repeat of the first game, and she's obsessed with this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, and just as a quick aside, she does kind of hint at what we'll see at the end in one of her free time hangout things. She talks about you make the size of your eyes up, and talks about like all the things you can do with cosplay, and like emphasizes the eyes, which obviously at the end what we see repeats itself in when she's transforming into all the characters.
Here's what I want to know. Like, when you beat certain parts of the game, you get the special item, right? And at the end, you get the Team Danganronpa pin. I want to know, if you go back into the game and you do a free time event and you give her that pin, what does she do? Does she just take that as, oh, I gotcha, okay.
Is that one you can give, though?
Or can you give the special items?
Yeah, I'm not sure you can.
Yeah. That'd be cool, though, if you could, though.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the, did we discuss this already? What was the lip thing? What was it? Wasn't there like that one item they were like, hold on to? What did we use that for? I forgot.
I think it was like the not the lipstick, but like the nail gloss.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, that was for, a special scene with Tsumugi.
Oh, okay.
He paints his nails.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanna bring up in regards to the final chapter, and this is something that I saw a lot of people's takes on, which is that it ruined Danganronpa 1 and 2, and that it completely changed the narrative of it. I'm wondering how you guys felt. I have a theory, but I want to hear what everyone else thinks.
Well, I didn't play the second one. I'm wanting to. But as far as the first game goes, if they're saying that it was ruined because in this game they admit that it's a game, then I don't see what the fuss is.
Okay, so here's my take. The games are fictional.
Whoa.
Whoa.
There.
You take that back.
So but it's kind of like, do you ever watch a movie where they say like, hey, did you watch the X-Files? And it's not like you go, oh, wait a sec, you're saying that universe is not canon, but yours is, or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're all just stories and games. Like, don't, you know?
People do that. People do.
I know they do that. I know, but you're not going to ever be able to resolve that. And surely you've seen enough stories that do things like that where you're kind of like, you got to get over it. So it's just like, hey, this Danganronpa says the other two aren't real. Well, you can play the other two then and pretend this one's not real because it doesn't even exist. There. Problem solved. That's me, slowbeef, Mr. Solutions. You know, like, I don't know. I get it, I do,
What if they just called it something else?
No, I mean, I do get it. Like, I'm not saying, like, it's so stupid, you're so dumb for feeling this way. I'm just saying, though, like, get ready for disappointment in this life. Because there's plenty of shit like that.
Slowbeef messages to his kids.
Get ready for disappointment, kids. Danganronpa isn't real.
Well, that really is the biggest disappointment in life.
That's your bedtime stories that you give, yeah.
No, but, you know, it's funny, like, we were talking, it's like before when it's like people who are like, wait, what's the Zelda timeline like? Just knock it off. Like, don't worry. It doesn't matter. They're not all the same thing. It's just, you know, you're gonna have to accept that it's not all one big canon universe kind of thing anyway.
But if Sumugi played the original Danganronpa 1 and 2, she got some things wrong from the book.
But, like, you know what you could do, too, then? You could also just say, like, alright, you know what? In my head canon, Danganronpa 1 and 2 is fictional, but it was based on real events. You know, there you go. Boom. Problem solved.
Where can I find an in-character Let's Play of Sumugi playing the first two games?
Oh, that would be great.
It's called a long play because she has no personality. Oh, I mean, yeah.
No, she would when talking about the games, though, and she would be, like, referencing all the adjacent material.
She would do the voices, too.
Oh, yeah, she would turn off the voices so that she could do them.
Like, that's not a good localization, despite playing it in the Japanese.
They got this wrong.
Oren, I think I have your money-making. I think you have a moneymaker idea for you.
Oh, also, she could just say she's turning off the voices, but not turn off the voices.
My original feelings is like, this gives me a little bit of a weird feeling about Danganronpa 1 and 2, because I originally, when I first played it, I didn't notice the mark where they said it transcended from games into being TV. So I thought they were just saying that Danganronpa 1 and 2 was also a television show, which doesn't exactly work when I was trying to reconcile it in my mind. But like, my theory about this entire thing, well, not theory, but like my way of thinking about it, I like to call it the Digimon method.
Okay.
No, because like when I was a kid, I really loved the Digimon TV shows, and it fits perfectly because 1 and 2 were in the same universe, much like Danganronpa 1 and 2 were, and then they did this third season where I was completely off the rails, and it was like, they referenced Digimon being its own TV show. I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? How dare they ruin season 1 and 2 for me? And this is Turbo being this 12-year-old that is completely angry about the Digimon fiction or whatever, But eventually I was just like, you know what? There are different universes, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's, you know.
Yeah. And this is actually the one thing they didn't lie about in the promotional material. I mean, they did say that this is a new universe, a new Danganronpa universe. And they weren't lying.
Yeah, didn't they kind of market it as like, because there was a substantial period of time between Danganronpa 2 and this, right?
Yeah, there was an entire side game between them.
Yeah, like it's been a number of years, and I think they kind of marketed it as like it's to bring new people into Danganronpa. It's a whole new Danganronpa, and it totally worked because I love it, and I kind of want to go back and play the other games now.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I agree. And like, you don't need to, like, we don't need to have the next game be Danganronpa 55. It could just be, we've just rebooted it again, and like, this is our formula, but we're just going to totally reinvent the canon, and maybe we incorporate the other ones in some way, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the way we did in this one, which is fine. I mean, the experience is the game, not the canon.
Yeah, I don't even know what they're going to do with the rest, with the next game in the series, if they're even going to do to make it, because how can you really follow this ending?
I don't know. You can.
Well, apparently there's a patent out for like another Danganronpa spin-off game, which may be in like that 3D action style Ultra Despair Girl.
Yeah, my feeling is that they pretty much only can do like side games, like out of genre games now.
So like when I first finished V3, I was like, what a perfect ending to Danganronpa as a series, which I understand is probably a very controversial opinion, but I thought, for me, that felt like a very significant and good ending for a series that completely messes with itself in a way. And like when I finished 2, I was like, that's a good way to finish this sort of like, it was kind of weak, but I'm like, okay, good, this is, we're finishing out this sort of Hope's Peak series thing, and then they didn't really finish that out with the 3 anime and Despair Girls, but whatever. So when they went into V3 and it's this own new thing, and even though it does tie back into 1 and 2, it's very much its own separate thing. I thought it's really good. So like if they do Danganronpa, X4 or whatever, the X games,
Danganronpa 64.
Like Danganronpa 65.
I'd just be really excited for it, because they are very good at one-upping themselves, so I would have high hopes for it. I don't know if they'd meet those hopes, but I'd certainly be willing to try it.
Oh, hold on a second. I got a pitch for next Danganronpa.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
It's,
Okay,
so it's an actual like good sequel to Battle Royale, except Monokuma's wearing a sweatsuit.
Uh-huh.
And all the characters are on an island and have to kill each other.
Wait, I got it. Hold on. It's a game you play as one, right? But you get airdropped onto the island, okay? And there's these zones that like close in and buildings.
And then when someone dies, all you hear over the loudspeakers,
Yeah.
And then at the end, if you're the last one, you get a chicken dinner.
And then winner, Ursine.
Of course. What about a sim game where you're the Monokuma and you have to manage the continuing Danganronpa seasons?
That's it. Yeah, I want there to be Danganronpa Maker.
Oh, it's a management sim, yes.
That sounds like a funny fan game. Yeah, because it's like procedurally generated participants, and you are Monokuma and you have to get them all to kill each other.
Or like you're playing as Tsumugi and you have to design your own characters, yeah.
Yeah, this one's got the funny hair. This one, her gimmick is that she loves to eat pudding. Okay, good. Put her in.
Or you got a card game, right? And then like, Tabletop Simulator every Saturday at 9, starring Pulahoko. Yeah.
That's what this podcast is now, actually.
That's a really bad idea.
If anybody doesn't know, Pulahoko made a tabletop Dangan Werewolf. Yeah, it's on Tabletop Sim. Look for it, Dangan Werewolf, and you can play it, and it's very elaborate and fun.
It's super elaborate. Like, yeah.
Oh, like so much work has gone into this. It's amazing.
No one has ever put this much effort into a Tabletop Sim game. It's Pulahoko at the top.
But, yeah, look at it.
It's like we've got our own Tsumugi here.
It's a lot of fun.
Look it up if you're interested. It's on Steam Workshop, Dangan Werewolf. It's an English translation of the Dangan Werewolf card game with homebrew DRV3 characters that I put in there because I really like DRV3. And we should be having an update pretty soon. So yeah, keep an eye out for it.
So what else do we want to talk about the game? Well, we've still got more characters. What about Mew?
Yeah, let's talk about Mew.
Mew is perfect.
Mew is perfect.
I'm torn between whether I want to cosplay as Kokichi or Mew because I also love Mew.
Oh, Mew is so good.
So I'm gonna tell you why I'm kind of not. I'm not kidding about Mew being kind of perfect. Is that she's good and she doesn't outstay her welcome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she's kind of one note in a way, but better than Tenko for sure. But like, she goes away just like when maybe she's starting to get a little like, all right, I've had enough of Mew. You know?
She's also kind of two note. I mean, she's got the like, you know, she's got that two sides of the flip sides to the personality, while at the same time being like somebody who moves a plot along with her. Like, you know, hey, look at our magical inventing abilities.
Yeah, like, she can do things. Like, she has the two personality thing, but then she also has an effect on the story.
Yeah.
And she dies by kind of getting her comeuppance for trying to murder someone, which is all good.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She's the second person that tried to play the game.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. She failed.
And her whole, like, that she got tricked, but you know that she's not she's not like innocently killed. She was trying to kill Kokichi. It's good. I like all of the things that she did. I think I enjoyed all the twists and turns. Also, this what your favorite Danganronpa V3 character says about you sheet says that if Mew is your favorite, then you think D's nuts and 69 jokes are still the shit. And damn. That's just our whole podcast.
Nice.
That's fine. Like, what kind of pretentious asshole wrote this meme? Terrible.
It also says if Kokichi's your favorite, then you're an edgelord who still shops at Hot Topic, and oh.
Well, then that's right. Yeah, no, that's
guilty as charged.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Which is the character if you still think Steamed Hams is funny?
Steamed Hams is funny.
Well, yeah, but if you think that.
Oh no. This is going to tear our podcast apart.
We were talking about text adventures the other day, and I literally spent like 15 minutes doing Steamed Hams as Zork, and I'm just like, nope, not doing it. Done. I'm out.
Oh, come on, do it. You have to do it. Come on, be passionate about the things that you like.
Outside of Seymour's house. Go in.
What? So in this game, are you Chalmers? Are you trying to get the steamed clams?
Steamed hams. Oh no, clams. You're right. Yeah.
No, I think the perspective switches a lot. It's fucking with the formula. Yeah.
Principal Skinner reappears and is carrying what appears to be hamburgers. Exits are north, south, and west.
Your score has gone up by 5 points. Yeah, I can see it.
Window is open. Krusty Burger in view.
Inspect Aurora Borealis. You can't.
No.
This is just the rest of the episode. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. VNBC, but if it was...
So I got really emotional when Seymour stole those Krusty Burger.
He stole them?
No, he didn't steal them. What am I saying?
Oh my god. Oh, we gotta make this to a VNBC, to a visual novel. A visual novel Steamed Hams. Somebody get on Renpy.
I refuse.
Oh, come on. You can't act like you're above it now. Come on.
We could do it. We could spend the last 10 minutes. We could spend the last 10 minutes of this podcast. I'm opening Renpy right now.
That's our secret announcement for what we're playing for season 5.
We're playing Steamed Hams.
I actually did open Renpy, so wow. I'm
Commitment to the joke.
It's, don't say I'm not dedicated. Yeah.
Okay, Fox, stop listening. Everybody else, we're stealing all their assets.
That's how you make a 10-minute Renpy game. I mean, it's gonna be up for free on Itch.io, so.
No, it's not. We're charging money for it. Fuck that. If we're getting the C&D, we might as well make it worth it.
Oh my god. Well, no. Look, just say that it's a Patreon reward tier, you know?
Yeah, which it is. Sure.
Oh my god.
Hams.
Okay. Other characters we like. Kaito Momoto, Luminary of the Stars.
Yeah, like him.
You can't not like Kaido.
Oh, I think this has been like the Kaido appreciation podcast.
Great. Love that boy. We love him.
I like that he got his good ending.
Yeah, he got to take control of how he died. Maki, we also love. Love Maki. She's great.
Yeah, I really thought I would hate her. She was such a good character at the end of the day.
And she retained her complexity all the way till the end. Like, you know, there was this whole, like, do I open up or do I not open up about, like, my actual ultimate talent? And then there was the, you know, is she gonna cave and, you know, try to kill Kokichi? And then she falls for Kaito. Like, she always had some new story element, and it was all interesting. And
the whole thing with her and Shuichi too, like that whole like element of like when during the grilling and stuff. Like there's she's complex. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Grilling, you say?
Oh God. Clearly, these are grilled.
And you call them babysitters when they're obviously assassins.
A child caregiver with this kind of lab in this kind of murdering room.
Oh my god!
Can I see your lab? No.
But I really like Maki because I feel like she got the worst of it. Are we? I could wait.
No, it's cool. We'll just giggle in the background.
We'll never be done.
Maki did get the worst of it.
Well, she got the worst of what? What do you mean?
When it was revealed that everything was fake, like, I would imagine that she would be in the worst situation because her entire fabricated past was just this big traumatic thing. Like, she went through so much suffering, and like through the course of the game she went through so many changes, and she could feel again, and she fell for Kaito, and she was this completely new, different person. And then to have somebody tell you, well, first of all that stuff in your past is just made up, none of it ever happened, and secondly, everything that you just went through, you know, all these changes and all this personal growth, we just planned that, so that's fake too.
So, but again, but is it?
Strictly speaking, yeah.
No, wait, but that's like, this gets back to the whole, like, but Danganronpa's not real, like 1 and 2, and it's like, no, but that's the thing, right? It's like, yeah, she's invented, but she exists now. She's a person. She has, like, thoughts and feelings and memories and everything, right? Like, she's just as real as the real Maki ever was now, right? I don't believe it, but...
Yeah, like, because they Matrixed her. They're like, hey, you know how to use a crossbow. Whoa.
Yeah, that gets back to the whole, like, we talked about this at some point early on in the podcast, where it's like, I had the idea that maybe they're just putting normal people in there and, like, seeing what sticks, seeing if they can, like, make ultimate talents. And they kind of, they mention it's like, it's mostly a placebo, to some extent it does fit you. But then there's, like, the other cases where Miyu, like, if it doesn't completely just confer on you these amazing inventing abilities, either she was just, like, making junk and they were giving her, like, actual working stuff, or it does give you those powers. So, I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, yeah. That's, like, yeah, but, like, that's, yeah, it's... I mean, I guess, like, you know, the whole sort of, like, okay, well, we're making this up in a way, or we're inventing characters for it. It kind of runs into these issues, too, of, like, what, again, why would you ever go on the show unless you didn't know that happened, or...
Yeah, part of what Tsumugi says has to be a lie, because nobody would sign up for the show to essentially be killed immediately.
Yeah, exactly. You could never know. I mean, and... Yeah, there's like a lot not quite right there. Because also, like, let's say you didn't know either. You have a family, presumably, that's like, excuse me, but, like, Maki is not an assassin, and I'm probably partially, like, second-degree famous just from her being on the show. So, you know what I mean? Like, this doesn't work.
I wonder if they ever have people who, you know, go to the auditions, and, like, the kid does well, but the parents are there. And the director's there. It's like, okay, I'm thinking for you, maybe ultimate builder. And then the mother, like, gets really angry and, like, walks up to the director and is like, no. That my daughter's not going to be a builder. You're going to make her, like, an ultimate dancer or something.
See, like, but here's the thing. There's video of, like, here's the real Kaida and the real Kaido and all that. So, like, the game is, I think the game really is trying to say, like, no, these are all inventions. This isn't, like, a total lie. But it's like, well, then how does that work? And I don't think it has to work. Like, it's not like, gotcha, Danganronpa.
No, it doesn't have to work. Honestly, I think it's better that they don't answer some of those things, because then you can kind of imagine where it's like, what kind of world is this where people will go to this? Do the people in the world actually know that it's real? Or do they, like, do know that it's real, but everything is so peaceful that they don't care if people die? Or is this like a thing where, you know, people dying is like, oh, it's a way to ring in the new year, or it's like the sign of a healthy society? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the Hunger Games. Yeah.
But even more than the Hunger Games, like, we never see the outside world, so we don't really know what happens.
No.
Like, maybe some of this is true, maybe some of it isn't. We're like, they are about to find out, but they never do in the context of the story that we experience.
And I think that's a lot more interesting than if they had answered that.
Absolutely.
No, totally, yeah. And it's, like, in keeping with the theme of it, right? Because it's like, it's not real, but, like, your thoughts and everything and feelings toward it, you know, that's all that really mattered anyway.
It's in keeping with the theme of this of the visual novel book club. This is, like, the whole point of what we're doing right now is because, like, this was a story good enough for have us discuss as much as we did, and to even discuss afterwards, to be like, hey, we don't know what happened, but talking about it is really cool. Totally.
You win, Danganronpa. Take that, Ever 17.
Oh, God.
The guy that made it, it's Kodaka, right? Or Kadoka? Or
Kodaka.
Kodaka? Yeah. Good job.
You got the Dangan Werewolf creator seal of approval.
No, like, I've seen some of the stuff he posts. He's a nice guy. Like, people would tweet at him and it's like, oh, I went cosplaying as this character last year or this year. And he was, like, retweeting it and being like, oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to see next year. Or is, like, just complimenting everybody's costumes. Like, he's really nice. And apparently, like, whenever the characters have a birthday, he also posts, like, this little decorative thing that they put together for the birthdays for the characters.
Aw, that really, like, paints it in a different light as well. I feel like, to know that, like, the person, one of the people in charge is, like, so sweet. You know, it's not like the whole idea of, like, relishing in the murder part is, like, not the focus.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a story where all these kids die. That'll make me happy.
Yeah, would that be fucked up or what?
Yeah, so Kodaka really is behind the entire Danganronpa franchise, and he actually said that he didn't think he's quitting completely, but he said he's not going to do them for a while, and he's open for other people to take on the series, but it's not going to be the same.
Alright, I'll do it, fine.
That's why I think if they do anything else immediately, it's probably going to be... He said several times that he'd really like to see a fighting game with the characters. And
oh my god.
I have a feeling they're going to do this.
Wait a minute. How does that work?
No.
Maki is a little bit OP.
No, we need Danganronpa dancing all night.
Here's what you do. Danganronpa All-Stars, right? But, like, the version of the game you get, you don't know who... It's, like, 5 different routes of who can die and everything, okay? And you don't know which one you get. Kind of like Clue, the movie. You're welcome.
No, it's just Arc Systems Works' next game is going to be Danganronpa fighting game. Everyone's going to love it.
Kaede is, like, super attack and she throws a shot put, but it doesn't do anything. And then Tsumugi rushes over from the side and attacks with the shot put.
I tag out, yep.
Oh god, it's definitely, yeah, like teams of 3. Oh my god. Okay, what characters have we not talked about? We didn't really talk about Angie.
Kibo.
Oh, Kibo's last. Because we got stuff to say about him. We didn't talk about Angie. I feel like it's worth noting that Angie's idea for all of them to live together in her cult might have actually kept more people alive.
Man.
But no one likes that. That doesn't make for good TV.
Yeah, something would have happened no matter what. Korekio, we've talked a lot about him. I really liked the like seance stuff, and that stuff, and it's, yeah, just awkward handling of the sister thing. Didn't really need to be there. And he was also just a murderer. Like, even if they had not...
Yeah, he wasn't trying to play the game. Like, he just wanted to kill people.
They already loaded, like, one legit murderer. Like, if Monokuma wasn't there, they would still have a murderer.
Oh, well, and also Maki. But, like, Maki is a contract murderer. Very different.
Yeah.
Right.
He would still actively have the goal of, like, I'm gonna kill some of these girls.
The moral of the story is, if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Oh my god. Okay, now Kibo.
Well, I want to ask you, like, you didn't like Kibo throughout basically the whole story. And then, how do you feel about him after he, like, had his whole thing up to the end? How do you feel about him now that you know that he was, like, the eyes of the audience, and he was doing what the audience told him to do?
It makes sense that he was receiving things like instructions from the audience with his inner voice and everything like that. I think that would make a replay of the game interesting to know that about him. I still think that Kibo's whole, like, main part of the game, for the most of the game, he just exists to be bullied, and that's actually way better knowing that he's the audience.
No, it's true. Yeah.
Like, all everybody ever does is shit on Kibo and not include him in things, and he's the audience. So, actually, that's great.
The audience wanted this.
But before I knew that, it was just like, really? This character just exists to be bullied? Like, that's it? That's just...
I wonder if the reason that Kibo lets everybody walk all over him is because, like, the audience is playing the Paragon path, and the options on the poll are like, yeah, just let him say that you're a dumb robot, or, like, you know, blast him in the face or something.
Yeah, if you say you don't want to look at Miyu's points, you get hella... Look at Miyu's poop, you get hella renegade points.
Yeah. Inspect your own poop, Miyu.
Do you think it's just like Twitter, where, you know, everybody's like, if they like a character, they're like, you can kill me, like, you can destroy me, you can step on me, and that's just what the fans are telling, so Kibo just doesn't do anything. Doesn't stand up for himself.
Or maybe, like, in the early stages, like, he literally is just a bot. Like, he's just like, I just say things are robophobic, and then I don't do anything else because I'm weak like an old person.
Yeah, they had glitches in the polling system at first, so...
It seems that way. You know what this has made me think about, though? Like, when we think about the idea of, like, their memories not being real, is that, man, they fucked with Ryoma.
Yeah.
Remember, he's just an empty shell because he thinks he's a killer? Like, he's just, like, drained of everything.
Yeah. He has argued, you know, him and Maki, you know, have, like, actual, like, horrific, traumatic backstories.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Ryoma is even worse than Maki, because at the end, it's like, well, your story is that nobody loves you, and you don't have a family, and you don't have a home to go to.
Oh, that's right, man!
Yeah! Maki has the orphanage, yeah. But, like...
Yeah, God.
Yeah, Maki has potential, like, friends in the orphanage where she could go back and take care of the kids. Ryoma, you've got nothing. Sorry.
What a loser. Oh, I mean, yeah, no.
What if they showed Ryoma's tape and he had, like, a voice appropriate for his like, physical appearance? And he was like, oh, I can't wait to be in the game.
Hey, kids! Who wants to play tennis with me?
Was that a Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
I was, because he does kind of have a Mickey Mouse thing going on. He's just got his ears under the hat.
Oh boy, I can't wait to start this killer game. Huh?
Or like a, I want to be a real boy type of look to him.
I don't even exist anymore. I'm an empty shell.
They have that scene where before they get their first memory and they're all in their normal person clothes, and it's kind of fun to think about what they were like before the game, because obviously they give you Kaede and they give you Shuichi and they give you Kaido, and they're completely different people. So I like to imagine that Ryoma was like some middle manager somewhere. Like, he's obviously in his adulthood, and maybe he's like a paper pusher that got tired of, you know, office-like and decided to join Danganronpa because he was bored with life.
And they were like, you're a teen now. Here, no one will notice.
Hello, fellow teens.
Yeah, how do you do, fellow kids? Oh, what a... I'm not totally convinced that the videos that they see of their previous selves are totally real.
You think that they might have made that up?
Yeah. I think it's possible because I think there's that versus their memories of being kidnapped.
Oh, wait a minute. What if they took him somewhere and then they implanted memories of wanting to be on Danganronpa, and then they implanted the other memories?
I don't know, maybe there's two factions. There's like the Danganronpa game show, and the which doesn't kill anyone, and then there's this.
I got one. I got it. Kokichi is the mastermind. He's tricking them into thinking they're on a show just so they'll walk outside and realize, oh shit, no, the meteors really did kill everybody. And now you got us, Kokichi! The final one! You win. You win.
Yeah, there was a secret compartment in the hydraulic press. He's actually still alive.
Maybe even not. Maybe he's just thought that far ahead, and it's like, I know I'll be laughing at them in death. It's fine. Who knows? You never knew. The person we trusted the most and the person we trusted the least. Well, just the latter part. Whatever. Do we have any other characters?
No. I mean, we could talk more about Shuichi.
Nah, I hate him.
Nah. We could talk more about Shuichi's hat.
Do we like Shuichi?
Nah. He's not bad, but he's not good either. He's just there.
I think if they chose... they chose a decent protagonist. I feel like they could have done better, and I do kind of like Shuichi's arc. And, personally speaking, Shuichi kind of speaks to me because he's, like, always trying to find the truth, and I'm, like, really bad at lying. So, there is that.
So you're a detective because you're really bad at lying, is what I'm getting from this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will say that I feel like if I had to rank Danganronpa protagonists, Shuichi's probably last, and I don't know. I mean, not counting, I guess, Ultra Despair Girls or whatever. He's not bad or anything. He's there. I don't know.
I got frustrated a lot with Shuichi. I got frustrated when I figured things out way, way ahead of him and then had to walk him through it when other characters had already figured it out and he had not.
Mm-hmm.
That was frustrating. But I guess that's his whole... that's his character, though, right? Is like a detective that's not actually that good.
That's also every Danganronpa protagonist. The first two games basically have a secondary character who knows everything before every trial starts. And they still make you go through all of it.
Yeah. And then, to be totally fair, right? You have to play the video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much of a game if the character figured everything out and then turned to the screen. It's like, okay, dummy, here's what happened.
Yeah. It's like, I can't wait to figure out the mission. Nah, I got it. Don't even worry, player. You sit down.
Just keep pressing A.
Oh no, not during the trial, but then there's other stuff just out in the world, just getting clues about what's really going on, or people saying stuff to him and then him Shuichi never follows up on suspicious things. I feel like I never felt like Shuichi followed up on anything until near the end where he asks Kokichi, "Hey, did you write those words on that rock?"
Actually, that kind of brings me back to, there was, I think there may have been an opportunity for, a special free time event. I talked to Kiyo, before his trial happened, and he was like, yeah, I could use some help in my lab, filing or organizing the antiques or whatever, and Shuichi's like, yeah, I'll have to come back and do that, and I never did. I thought the game might, kick me out, but no, I just said that I did and then never did.
Yeah, it's tricky, and there's even, I know we mentioned this in a previous episode too, but, even, the thing with the key card and the secret door is just never kind of brought up again until, the plot deems it.
That annoys me, yeah. Also, they don't really do anything with the media room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the media room is they don't do anything with it.
They find porno there.
They find a bug's life.
Yeah, it's part of the first trial, because there's that whole, could Gonta have possibly thrown the shot ball across the hallway?
Yeah, they have that, but then they have all that neat-looking stuff in the media room where it's the TV and all the movies, and then like in the other room they have like pinball machines and shit. I feel like they could have done more with that.
Yeah, it's interesting that there's a casino and then a separate room full of video games that you never play. What else do we want to talk about? OTP.
Miyu and me. No. Actually, no. She was gross at the end there with the cookies and everything. Let's see. Who's OTP? Well, obviously Shuichi and Kokichi, right? That's like the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kaide and me? No, Kaide and,
I get some Kaede and Rantaro, honestly.
yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I talked to him both times when I was playing, and it's there's definitely like a date vibe between them.
I mean, it's sort of like a praying mantis kind of date vibe. Like, go out and then I'm gonna drop a bowling ball on you. But
I mean, I'm like obviously Sayoma, obviously Shuichi and Kokichi, but I like the
With Sayoma.
that's the ship name.
You have to give it a cutesy name.
I don't know. I've seen it as Sayoma and as Omasai. Yeah. But Kokichi having a huge crush on Shuichi, but like not being able to communicate it because he just lies all the time, and then Shuichi having no idea what's going on. That is it. That's what I like. Like the love key scene between them, and Kokichi is like very clearly like trying to like feel him out and being like very clearly like, I like you. Do you want to maybe make out? And Shuichi's like, you're a villain and I need to stop you. It's great. I love it.
I feel like Gonto would get along with Angie.
What? No. What? Gonta and Angie?
Yeah.
Angie just wants to bring people into her cult.
Yeah, but like, if she's in a cult, then she doesn't need like material possessions, and they could live out in the forest with the bugs and stuff, and Gonto would be happy.
Oh, Miyu Kibo, right? Or no?
Miyu Kibo, yeah.
I don't know. Do you ship it?
I don't ship any of this crap.
Oh, okay. Sure, I definitely believe you.
Oh no, hold on. Miyu and Himiko after Himiko gets her confidence.
No. No.
I don't know. One wants to examine their poop, and the other one won't stop talking about pee. I think it's a pretty good match.
It worked for me.
Oh, God.
My OTP is Himiko in her own water tank. So, the hell with Himiko. IMO.
Actually, Himiko and Miyu would work perfect, because Himiko would say, I have to pee, and then Miyu would think it was hilarious every time.
Oh, my God.
Alright, that is a little fair.
Miyu, when they were both alive, Miyu just bullied Himiko constantly, so I don't know, maybe that meant she liked her.
I don't remember them interacting that much.
She just made jokes about how Himiko had a flat chest.
Yeah.
I thought she did that with Kaide.
I think she did that with everyone.
That's to be fair, yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, real ships. Kaito and Maki, obviously.
What do you mean real ships? These are real.
Oh, okay.
Please respect.
That's the whole theme of the game, remember.
Kaito and Shuichi, obviously. Just guys being dudes. Between the Tenko, Himiko, Angie, like, love triangle, I don't care.
Nope.
They can all die alone for all you care.
Himiko and believing in herself.
Yeah, I don't know. Tsumugi and something interesting. Who knows? That's my other OTP.
Never.
Never. They would never get along.
Tsumugi's too in love with Dangan Ronpa. She wouldn't have time.
Yeah, Tsumugi and Mono Bear.
Tsumugi and Junko.
There you go.
Very true.
If only it were possible. Tsumugi and her Junko pillow.
She does own one.
That's extremely real.
Okay.
So that's the game.
I think that's the
Yeah.
I
game.
think so.
It's good.
Yep,
It's
it
a
was.
good game.
It was a good game.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
What are we going to talk about what we're playing next?
Did we decide, or are we like, I mean, I certainly liked the suggestion, but I don't know if we want to get into that just yet, or not.
Well, if we don't want to, then we could cut the podcast right at Did We Decide and make everyone mad.
Dun dun dun.
It's a lie. I don't know why I did this. I just did a Google image search for Kaida fan art. And,
I don't know. I can't control my hands.
well, I mean, I was just kind of like, ever just do a thing where it's, oh wow, somebody shipped Kibo and Kaida. Kibo and Kaida. It's very cute. Anyway, everybody likes Shuichi and Kaida, which I'm just like, whatever. Oh, hello. Let's back out of that.
I want to know what you saw to make you say, oh, hello.
No, you can probably guess. Yeah, it's okay.
Shuichi and Kaede, it's Kaede inspires Shuichi to not be such a pushover, I guess. But also Kaito does. Also, Kaito liked Kaede.
I thought you were going to say inspires him to not be himself, which is also true.
I guess so. I think he wants to be better. He's trying. If he didn't want to be better, I don't think anyone could have convinced him to be better.
All right.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I think we're good. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Thanks, Oren, for everything, pretty much.
Yeah, special thanks to Oren Ronan for editing the audio and for being our Danganronpa expert. It's been really fun having you on and getting to learn all the cool backstory stuff that we wouldn't know because we don't speak Japanese.
Yeah, I'm very happy you all enjoyed it, because I was a little concerned about the people who didn't play the first games, but in the end it turned out okay, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on board now. Like, I would want to go back and... I mean, I need some downtime, but, like, go back and play them.
I think... I really think you should. I mean, I guess almost nobody of you played the second one, except for Turbo C, I guess.
I read, I read all the spoilers, but I don't really get them, so...
And I still think it's a good game. You should play it.
The second game?
Yeah, the second game. And the first one, also.
What about Ultra Despair Girls? Nah, exactly.
I think Ultra Despair Girls is not a good game, but it's not as bad as some people make it, I think.
There are certainly people out there that like bad games, so, like, not saying you shouldn't play it, it's just, it's not recommended.
It has its good parts, definitely.
It is super dark.
I love bad games, so I'll definitely give it a shot then.
I'll watch your stream so that I
All right.
don't have to stain my hands.
And I forget, Slowbeef, did you like Toko in the first game?
You mean,
Fukawa.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I liked her.
So this game is basically about her. And it's actually a great, pretty good to her character.
Yeah, I was an Asahina fan personally, but whatever. All right, no, I liked her. I'll check it out.
Asahina has a brother that shows up in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. All right then, fine. Well, okay. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, find out next time what our next game is going to be, or at some point.
Yep.
Yes.
Until then, so long, farewell for the final time.
Sayonara.